Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jakarash here. Um, Welcome back to Tron Identity. Um, I'm gonna do another playthrough, and the name of the game is trying to the name of the game is to try to get this last ending achievement, which is called Null Ref, I believe. And the description is create a power vacuum. Now, I was also already pretty interested in how, like, what else would happen if I had done this at the end or had made this choice at this one point. So, yeah, gonna do. Only yeah. It's a cold night in the city. Nothing new there. You pull your coat tighter, feel the heat of its glow. So basically, the goal, if not to get that ending, it's also to get, or rather achievement, it's also to try and just make the... I think you can see Grish way over there. The idea is to get Grish as mad as possible, and then during that final showdown, to not back down. Pull your coat tighter, feel the heat of its glow. A small comfort against the brittle rain. Across the park stands the repository, a grand building. It stands sentinel among all surrounding it. This is architecture as power play, a statement made in light and stone. It's also where you'll be working tonight. You step forward, taking in the data trees that flank your path. Suddenly, the screech of tires against asphalt to your left, the rhythmic pulse of a light cycle at full speed. You turn, seeing cold blue light racing towards you. Hold your ground. You hold out your hands, stop. The cycle doesn't slow. In fact, you could swear it accelerates, defiant. It blasts past on your left. 2 more cycles follow it. Yellow. Core. Whatever the racer did, it was bad enough to get 2 enforcers on their tail. Peacekeepers. That was the polite word. You operate in a less polite world. You push forward, more gingerly now. The park has fallen silent. Good. Ah, yes. My nemesis of this playthrough. At the entrance to the repository stands a slab of a security program. His armor is scuffed and scratched, as is his face. A cruel smirk is attempted to break through his clenched jaw. Bit of trouble on the road there, Chief? Nothing I can't handle. He laughs. You didn't dodge the light cycle. Next time, look both ways. You're not going to win a fair fight with a speeding light cycle. The laughing stops and is replaced by a stern frown. Can I help you? Feel free to start. Another snort of snide laughter. I'm gonna need some credentials. You flash your badge. 4 squares arranged in a T. It designates you as a member of the Disciples of Tron, a detective. No boss, no assigned task, but uncovering truths. A professional observer. Just doing a sound check. My name's Query. Your boss called me in. Something happened here. Something big enough to bring in outside help. The program is taken aback. He steps away from the door and motions you in. You could have sworn you saw the light in his eyes pulse with frustration. This isn't going to be an easy night. This will be easier if you work with me. We're going to be good friends, I can tell. No answer. The program slams the door shut behind you, reactivating its glowing lock. No escape. Definitely not going to be an easy night. I think I'll raise the game volume by a little bit. I haven't gotten all of the things I can click yet. I don't think. The lobby of the repository is beautiful. It demonstrates the same power as the exterior. Grish hustles you into the elegant space. You note that it is empty, quiet. You work here? I do. You look around. How long? Enough cycles that my beard turned gray. Grish looks tired. It must have already been a long night. He growls. It wasn't my call to bring you in. I had this handled. I was about to begin my investigation. Imagine your boss felt otherwise. Grish chuckles to himself. Yeah, I imagine he did. So why are we talking? The chuckle disappears. Because I want to. This may be his building, but you want in, you gotta go through me. Yeah, gotta... Let me turn this down just a hair. Yeah, remember the goal is to... Well, it's not quite the same goal as last time, which was to be the worst. But instead, it is to basically be the worst to Grish. And also try to create that power vacuum, you know? So we'll talk as long as I want to. You can tell Grish isn't used to dealing with inquiries like yours. He ushers you past the lobby's vacated front desk towards an elevator. We've moved all non-essential staff to a secure location. I've been ordered to send you up to Prince. He runs this tower, and he's taken the events of the night very personally. You'd think they'd stolen from his own personal collection. Maybe, the way he sees it, that's exactly what happened. There's been a robbery? That's right. Someone picked tonight to steal something precious from us. Prince will fill you in on the details. I don't know him all yet either. I heard the explosion, activated the lockdown, and put things in order. Since then, I've been out here, securing the perimeter and waiting for you to show up. Took you long enough. Since then, alrighty. I've been out here, securing the perimeter and waiting for you. I am not a professional, can't you tell? I guess you were busy holding up traffic, not successfully. But I respect the effort. Why'd you go outside? I needed some ventilation. Figured maybe I'd get lucky and see a perp escaping. Space to think. That's right. I didn't get much time to do so. Got interrupted. Grish moves to the elevator. A keypad to its side awaits activation. He reaches out his hand to the panel. It hovers. A sharp intake of breath. What? Forgot your code? Grish stands in front of the panel, looking at it, then back to you. He's confused. He catches himself. Confusion turned into frustration. Since the explosion, I've been missing things. manners? Watch it. I don't know if it's got anything to do with the explosion, but my memory access is failing me. There are holes. You're DOT, you said? You can defragment identity disks, can't you? Recover memories? If I choose to. Do what needs to be done. Here, take it. He hands you his disk, grudgingly. Defrag. Now, I read this before, so I'm not going to bother reading again. There's another achievement I haven't got yet, which is defrag a timed, or complete a timed defrag. Which I think is in the menu. And the disc back, Grish takes it, replaces it on his back. A slight pulse in his eyes signals the data refresh. Got it. Grish gives the slightest of nods. It's the closest you'll be getting to a thank you. He taps the code into the elevator, unlocking it. I've unlocked repeat access rights for you. You'll be able to travel to any location Prince allows. About time. Grish grunts. He's clearly frustrated to have shown his weakness to you. Honestly, being this much of a jerk to Grish makes me want to play again and do it right. Anyway. You move towards the elevator, but Grish puts out a heavy hand, blocking your path. I'm not going to let you do this without me. I don't need anybody. I do. I work with a lot of programs, and tonight someone attacked them. You are taken aback by the reaction. You need my detachment. Grish smiles at the presumption. I need you to accept my very kind offer of help. You push forward. He's surprised. I work alone. You'll regret this program. Grish's eyes flare. I'm sorry. I'm not going to warn Prince about you, about your lack of respect for how things work here. He steps into the elevator, slams a fist into the panel, and is whisked off. Moments later, the elevator returns, empty. It's time to visit the man who called you here. Indeed. Prince may consider this an office, but it's more of a shrine. User memorabilia lines the walls. By the window, Grish and Prince are speaking in hushed tones. Grish sees you enter and frowns. He leans towards Prince, says a few more words, then barges past you for the elevator. Be seeing you, program. Yes, you will. I like how the music here really reflects Prince's zealotry. Or zeal, I guess. Prince chuckles. I see you've been making friends. Very glad you could join us, Query. You come very highly recommended. Reputation is everything. Let's note your answer. A program after my own heart. Welcome. And steps in front of his desk. He registers your confusion at the bright lights on its surface. A little showy, perhaps. I've been told it looks like a shrine. But much like the users, I enjoy a little theater. rather get to work. What happened here? That's a longer conversation, I fear. At least I don't have to worry about my attitude towards other characters. It's Grish. It's Grish that I'm, you know, that I have to be worried about, you know. Prince smiles another smile. It is a smile calculated in its charm, the kind of self-conscious allusion to kindness that you've only ever seen in those with assured authority. You wonder how Grish feels about such subterfuge. Hey Google, what does subterfuge mean? Ah, got it. I remember thinking last time around, I was like, you know, I actually don't know what that word means. Tell me, Query, for whom do you fight? Let's see, I said this my first time, and I said this my second time. I'll do this. I fight for the programs. The smile drops to a slight frown. Your beliefs troubled, Prince. I think last time it was like your selfishness annoyed him. A very modern perspective. Loyalty to your peers is of course admirable, but shaky ground ethically. Programs are so changeable in their whims. True. Prince steps back to the window. Flynn built this world for us, Query. He built us an ark safe from Clue, from his intolerance of our kind. We must never forget what we owe, whose grace we rely on. He saw the potential of the ISOs and our value. Your order was created with similar optimism. The disciples of Tron, independent seekers of truth in the face of tyranny. It's all very impressive, I'm sure. You too are a part of Flynn's design. Do not forget it. He will return. I guess my goal with other characters is to say something I haven't said before. I don't think he's coming back. So I'm coming more off as, like, instead of, like, an atheist, you know, as far as, like, the users are concerned. I am coming off as someone who's lost hope. Noted your answer. Fortunately, my faith is not dependent on your opinion, program. Alright, that was a little snarky. I fear that I am increasingly surrounded by a lack of faith. Prince glances at the elevator. Grish left through. Grish saw many things in the Adjunct War. I think he carries more scars than the one we can see. It has dented his belief. He's not alone in that. I think I said that last time. You can't save everyone. No, we can't. But we can try. Oh, shoot. Just realized. I was wondering why I was looking over at my stream and I'm like, wait a second. It's been on the same frame for a while. But yeah, when I was asking Google, it paused the stream. Whoops. My interest in the users goes beyond blind faith. I imagine you've noticed my collection. Yeah, this will be easier this time around, just because, you know, it's Grish that I'm here to not impress or whatever. I can be a bit more, you know, a bit less nasty with everybody else. Very impressive. Thank you. Does any piece in particular catch your eye? Ooh. I didn't say this last time. The currency token. Prince takes a small metallic disc from the shelf. This is a quarter, a unit of currency denoting 25% of a US dollar. It serves two primary purposes, the activation of gaming terminals and a rudimentary binary random number generator. The disk runs code? No, it is flipped, with the resulting top face denoting a binary value. Users lack the observational skill to process every contributing input, so it works well enough. Got it. That's funny. I love it. And that's cool too, like, because, you know, trying out different answers, you get more out of the game and more conversation, and that's really funny. He flips the coin in the air, catching it. Call heads or tails. Ooh. Tails. He looks at the coin. Ah, well done. I had a feeling it would be tails just because I think people would choose heads first, right? Prince puts the coin back on the shelf. Fascinating. Prince smiles. Indeed. Prince's face stiffens. For the first time, he lets the stress of recent events show on his face. He straightens up, locks eyes with you. Tonight, the unacceptable has occurred. Our repository has been broken into, and our work is in great danger. I'm sure Grish told you about the explosion. Our vault. We have been attacked. I don't know for sure who did this, but I have my suspicions. I need to know who is responsible, and what they stole from us. Who had access? To the vault? Core. It may be my repository, but it's their vault. I don't even know what they were keeping in there. Oh, I said that last time. He looks down. I wish I had a better answer, but for now I am in the dark as you. My building is host to a great many treasures, but presumably, tonight, someone stole our greatest jewel. Prince gestures broadly. The programs with the answers are throughout this tower. I'm hoping that an outsider like yourself may be able to find the truth of all this. I'd start with the crime scene itself, or the suspect we already caught. A visiting dignitary, another outsider, was present near the event. Grish's men secured the situation immediately. Keep an eye on Grish. His sort can be quick to judge. He would seem to have formed a bad impression of you, and that could be a complication for your investigation. A look crosses Prince's face, something approaching sympathy. We've created temporary accommodations in the library. Give my apologies to Ada when you see her. Not exactly her role to play jailer. I'll interrogate the prisoner. No need to tell me, program. The DOT are independent of my authority. I hope that you also remember your oath of non-interference. Come back here when you have anything to tell me, or any questions I can answer. Prince's smile broadens. It's been good talking to you, Query. I will make it known to my staff that you are to be supported in your investigation. I believe you can do good work here. This is my repository. I will do everything I can to help you. Come to me if you need anything. You leave the office. For the users. The library is vast, undulating. Distant platforms hang from the walls. The air is wet, the cold white glow of the space dreamlike. But it is the trees that make the grandest impression. Tall and old and impossibly complex, they curl and swirl in the energy falls before you. You've never seen anything like them before, not at this scale. Your thoughts are interrupted. Beautiful, are they not? A program stands next to you, glowing white like the room around her. You enjoy my garden? An intriguing detail. She smiles. Unknowable permutations of intriguing detail. She kneels down, checking the leaves of a tiny plant at her feet. She turns each over in her fingertips, inspecting them in turn. Content, she stands up, smiling again. I am Ada. Welcome to my garden. I'm lost. A sympathetic glance. Not at all, Query. You're precisely where you need to be. This is the greatest library on the grid. It is the centerpiece of the repository, the very purpose of its existence. Before you lies the grand total of knowledge from nearly 2,000 cycles of our society. From the founders to this moment, all of it, pristine. Ada walks over to a tree, grand and towering. She reaches out a hand, brushes a leaf, letting its energy fizzle at her touch, a crackle of utter sonic complexity. You've seen trees before, I imagine? Of course. Do you know what they are? A decoration inspired by the users. They are certainly beautiful, but that's not the whole story. Trees are data, records of our history, not individuals, but an entire society. They are our memory at a cultural level. I understand you work with identity disks as part of your investigations. Has the similarity between these forms and that of the data you see in your travels never struck you as interesting? She pulls her hand away from the leaf. Your order, the DOT, do not interfere. You seek truth, but seek to have no impact in the worlds you investigate. The echoes of your kind in my garden are quieter than most. You believe her. It is as intended. I have questions. I am sure you do. Ask them. Take your time. Oh, I said I have questions. I'm sure you do. Ask them. Take your time, and then I have someone to introduce you to. Plant garden. Respecting the question, it is one she has been asked before. The data of trees in the wild is rich. They capture all around them. But the noise is also chaotic, unguided, ruckus even. In my library, I can cultivate the data, refine it, prune it. I can find the truth and preserve it for future generations. It sounds like an enormous task. He exhales, almost a chuckle. It is, but I have time and relatively few interruptions. Until tonight. I am grateful to do what I love. You believe her. I know my role. Expecting shelves, books? A laugh. As with Prince's shelves of user entertainments, I don't blame you. So much of our world is contextualized via the users and their arcane and oblique practices. I've been speaking... Wigmaster is playing Warhammer, eh? Speaking to my guests at length on the topic. It is an irony that they had to cut down their trees and transform them into books. Our method is lossless. How long does it take to learn and read the data? This data. How long did it take you to learn to read the data of an identity disk? To guide programs to the truths they already knew? I have a gift for it. Precisely. It is the same with my work. As with many things, the library has no value without the one who can use it. Yep. She looks confused. There seems to be some of it going around, maybe linked to the explosion. No, nothing. Maybe we were insulated from the bulk of it. The trees blocked the storm. Not all of them survived, though. Some of my saplings, the recent and obscure, seem to have been shattered by the force of the explosion. I may be able to rebuild replant, but I am sure we have lost a great deal. I'm sorry. A heavy pause. Ada holds back tears, but you note the subtle effort. It is a shame, but of course nowhere near the suffering my fellow programs have experienced. I hope you can help them. It is a blessing you are here tonight. Flynn be thanked. Let's move on. As you wish. The librarian motions... Whoops. Motions toward the center of the library. A platform juts out in the humid air. Please follow me to the observation deck. As you walk, she explains. Under normal circumstances, this is a space of tranquility. The observation deck provides a place to meditate, to consider the knowledge collected here. Now this one I never did. A Zen thing? Okay, so she says the same thing, no matter what. Okay. That's okay. Ah, student of Flynn. Hi, Reed. Indeed, you're in the right place. You continue walking. A bright energy field surrounds the end of the platform. Ada notes your reaction. A safety measure under normal circumstances. It would be unfortunate to fall from the perch. Without a secure location, an intact one at least. Grish asked that we make use of it as a temporary prison. You are now close enough to see that the energy field has an occupant. An exceptionally tall figure. Sitting cross-legged in its center. I will leave you alone with him. I encourage you to be respectful. This is, after all, an ambassador, a guest in my garden. The man in the energy field looks up at you as you approach. Sad eyes peer out from a strangely pale face, faceted and lit by two bright eyes. It is a timeless face, and one you instinctively know has seen a great deal. Greetings, program. How are you holding up? As well as can be expected. I would prefer to be elsewhere, of course. I should introduce myself. I am Sierra, ambassador for the Automata. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I am Query, of the DOT. I have been asked to investigate the events tonight. I have been told you are a criminal, but I will form my own opinion. You have my word. You nod respectfully. I think I said that last time, too. Sierra smiles. You find yourself fascinated by the structure and patterning of his face, the way it contorts in a flawed attempt to mimic a very user expression. You try not to stare. He notices. Am I your first automata, Query? Yes, I'm sorry for staring. He looks at you quizzically. It can be strange to be exposed to the new. The automata have kept to ourselves for some time. It's reasonable that the rest of society would be surprised by our appearance. In truth, I am proud of the difference. We choose not to look like the users of myth, but walk our own path. I stared only because you look transcendent. Thank you. This is only a pale approximation of my true form, however. Among your kind, I do what I can to approach the aesthetics of a user. I've been told it makes you more comfortable to be reminded of your myths. Ah, brother. His smile broadens. Let's get to the matter at hand. My crimes? You strike a conciliatory pose. It's just you and me, Sierra. I didn't care for Grish's methods either. Sierra nods. A silence hangs in the air for a moment. Let me help you. A look of doubt. I want to believe you, Detective, but I know that your role here is only one of investigation. You are unable to intervene. Your words are kind, but empty. Sierra breaks eye contact, looks down. The prisoner stands, slowly. He is a giant, almost twice your height. He looms over you. There is great strength there, but also a gentleness to his posture, his movements. I am not your enemy, Query. And I don't believe you are mine either. That's like a total reverse of, something he says the last time I was playing where, he's one of two characters, Grish being the other one, that actually says, you are my enemy. I will happily answer your questions if you return to me. I will help you. I will help in every way I can, but I fear I am as ignorant as anybody else here. He points to the door you came in from. Keep Grish and Prince away from me. They have made up their minds, and I have no interest in discussing matters with them further. Sierra turns his back to you. Your conversation over for the time being. It may be time to visit the scene of the crime, the vault. A memory of great energy hangs in the air. The vault, what's left of it at least, is incredible. Hot red light permeates every corner, highlighting the blue cracks and damage of the explosion. Make up your mind, Wigmaster. The heat of that light is matched only by the cold of the wind blowing through from outside. In the place of the vault's interior is the gaping wound of the blast. The light of the city outside is weightless. That comma shouldn't be there. Slumped in the corner, you see the only other program present, a guard. An exhausted face looks up and back at you. Dear me, what in the world? Their clothes are more ornate than Grish's. This isn't one of his guards. A Core Honor guard, maybe. What happened? A good question. The guard looks tired, weakened. Likely they took some damage in the explosion. Whatever they were guarding is gone. Grish must have left them here to recover. Best to approach this carefully. Mind if I ask you some questions? No, but I don't think I have any answers. Cass looks, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but Cass looks rather, Indian. Like, Indian or Pakistani or, around that area, It's only now that you realize, looking at the guard, how young they are. Their hair and uniform are pretty messed up, but the guard isn't more than a kid. A kid left to guard something worth destroying the vault over. Do you know where you are? Yeah, No, I don't. Am I in trouble? I think the trouble's past. This is going nowhere fast. The guard needs help. Likely this close to the blast, their entire memory is locked out. You kneel down in front of them. Gesture towards the identity disc on their back. I'm Query, a DOT. Let's see. If you'll let me, I can skim your disk. help you put some of the details together. Maybe start to figure out what happened here. Okay. I was trying to look for, like, I thought there was a thing, like an option. I mean, it did tell me before, but I skipped over it. That there was an option to skip the disk defragging, but they understand. You reach over, take their disk. Time to make some connections. Oh, okay, here we go. You place the disc on the guard's back, just to save time. Cass. My name is Cass. Cass began to trust you. It's a start. You smile. It'll help Cass to their feet. Steady there. They make a concerted effort to stay standing and manage it. Unsteady, but vertical. Thank you. Feels like the explosion just happened. Light and sound all around me. It was horrible. You look out at the gaping void of the vault and the city lights beyond. Do you remember anything else? Anything at all? Cass steps over to look out over the city with you. Like what? What were you guarding? I don't remember anything in the room with me when the explosion happened. I'm trying to be helpful, I swear. It all just keeps slipping through my fingers. The explosion fried their memories. You'll need to come back, work through this with them. Your only witness barely remembers anything beyond their name. Do you have any questions for me? 1. What's DOT? You chuckle. You've never been asked that before. Saying DOT tends to make programs less talkative, if anything. I'm a detective. I solve mysteries. Cass looks at you quizzically. And you're here to solve the mystery of... me? I hope so. That seems to satisfy them. I will get to the truth of this. It's my only function. I will find out what happened here. You walk back towards the door. Cass calls from behind you. You're leaving me alone in here? You turn back to them. I'll be back soon. Cass nods and sits back down on the floor. You've never seen a core on her guard before. You always imagined they'd be taller. Time to move on. It's time to hear Prince's views on all this. The office is still as grand and impressive as it was the last time you were here. Prince stands at the window. Grish has returned in your absence, standing next to his master. As you approach, Grish turns to sneer. Prince chuckles and shakes his head. Welcome back, program. It's good to be back. A nod. I fear things have continued to slide in your absence. I find myself increasingly forgetful. Some kind of lasting symptom of the explosion, you think? It's complicated. It doesn't seem too complicated. I find it profoundly unsettling to be myself, but also to have parts missing. I am a program that prides myself on my memory, my user given. But then, you're a non-believer, aren't you? I suppose you think my gifts are a chance? Tonight I am jealous of the programs out there who continue their ebb and flow. So it's like the first playthrough, I'm a believer. The second, I'm an atheist. And then this, I'm an agnostic or something. Tonight I'm jealous of the programs out there who continue their ebb and flow untouched by what has happened here. How many programs function entirely in the dark? How many remain ignorant, so peaceful? They're likely happier. I think then teach them I did the first time. This was the second. They're likely happier. Very possibly. That is my hope, that the work we do here is protective, that allows them the space to live without worry. Certainly makes things safer, I imagine. Maybe. For us, for our benefactors, certainly. Prince wobbles slightly, imperceptibly. Grish notices. Are you alright, Administrator? He straightens. Of course, I'm just a little off balance from tonight's events. I find it hard to focus in on the detective's points and questions. I've forgotten so much from earlier. You can help, Program? That's all I've been doing all night. Was that a tone? Prince takes the disc from his back, hands it to Grish, who hands it to you. You know, a little bit of both. Alright. Hand the disc back. Grish, who replaces on Prince's back. Prince stretches, rolling his neck, and smiles to himself. Ah, that's better. He turns to face you. So, what is your conclusion in this case? Cass in the vault is hiding something. Prince looks at you quizzically. You think they're holding back? They are out of place. I'm uncomfortable around them. They came to have lost their memory. By definition, they are a core guard. A visitor, no? Grish locks eye contact with you. What do you see? Well, I leave it to your discretion. Time is short, and it is important your work here is swift. I am, of course, comfortable to answer any questions you may have of me, or Grish here, before you resume your investigation. Ask as many as you like. How will Sierra's fellow programs react to his imprisonment? Prince laughs. Not well, I imagine. As you no doubt gathered from your conversation with him, his kind, the automata, stand directly opposed to the sanctity of our civilization. They blaspheme and they mock, and they bring nothing to back up their outlandish claims. They refuse the existence of the users, but can provide no evidence of their absence. It is infuriating. Prince shrinks back a little from his tirade. More of his kind every day, making demands of the rest of us. I sincerely hope they are not foolish enough to start a fight over this. You are uncertain of his sincerity. How long before the explosion did Cass arrive with the item for storage? Barely enough time for us to register the arrival on our systems. Whoever did this, they knew ahead of time. They planned this. It's not good. Points to someone with information about our procedures. Oh, it's far worse than that. It implies the involvement of someone with information about the procedures of Core. Prince winces. Whoever did this knows more about the comings and goings of our vault than I do. Why hide away all this information? Did Ada not give you her usual speech about pruning and refining information? Prince smiles. We don't hide anything. We maintain society via careful control of data. It requires a delicate and respectful touch. There is information that can kill, Program. That doesn't sit well with you. No more questions. As you wish. Prince's head tilts slightly to the side, and he raises 2 fingers to his ear, an incoming message. Yes. Where? I see. He looks back to you, a determined flash to his eyes. It would appear we have an issue. Yes. Prince appears shaken. My exterior guards tell me a known criminal has just landed on the building. Her name is Proxy. Have you encountered her before? The name rings a bell. It should. I believe she is wanted for a number of crimes, some of the worst imaginable. Grish tenses. She's a thief, a pirate, no respect at all for the work done here. Prince goes to his shelves and begins to pack a few items into a small bag. This is no coincidence. She must surely be involved in the theft tonight. I am moving to a secure location. Grish, you're coming with me. As you wish. Query, for my security, I'm afraid I can't tell you where I'm going. I will still be in the repository, but I will be unavailable for now. He finishes filling the bag up and seals it. I know your order doesn't engage in ongoing events, that you are forbidden from interfering, but I need you to reconsider that oath in service of myself, our work, and Core. I need you to go up there and meet this interloper. I need you to find out her involvement in the vault explosion and prevent her from doing any more damage. When the time is right, I will return. I will ask questions. That's all I need, for now. I trust you'll make the right decision, if one must be made. He picks up the bag and heads for the elevator. Grish follows behind, disc in hand. She's on the landing pad, Query. I suspect some of your answers are up there with her. Here we go. The landing pad jets out of the side of the repository, like a grid bug clinging unsteadily to a mountain. You're starting to relate to grid bugs. You're no negotiator. You have never interacted with an act of crime directly. The disciples of Tron investigate, they do not instigate. A yell tears through the rain, breaks your process. Greetings, program! She stands in the center of the platform. Behind her, a stolen recognizer takes off, soaring back into whichever corner of the city it's usually hidden. She walks towards you. Her swagger implies casual charm, but you can sense a readiness to strike. Danger may not be present, but it is certainly pre-cached. I said greetings, program! A playful anger crosses her eyes. Do you have a name? You first. She laughs. Ah, is that the level of negotiation I can expect? How fantastic. I'm Proxy. I'm sure you've already been told a great deal about me. Why don't you give me your side of it? I'm a scoundrel, a ne'er-do-well, a good-for-nothing. Well, nothing except liberating the property of bigger scoundrels. Does a little sarcastic bow. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I think we're going to be very good friends, detective. She's toying with you, testing your boundaries. Before you ask me your questions, and we get to negotiating what happens next, I have one pressing question, if I may. Go for it. It's less of a question than an observation. Really, it unsettles me. My question is, why is this landing pad not secured? No guards, nothing preventing my landing, unloading. My code whispers trap to me. I should have been surrounded by 6 angry programs with discs in hand the moment I set foot on such sacred ground. The word sacred was stressed, ringed for every available drop of sarcasm. No offense, but you're not as scary as the welcome I anticipated. Something happened here. Or something happened here? Are the usual programs occupied? There was an explosion. She nods, play-acting, taking new information on board, pondering, considering the nuances of this new revelation. All in order to mock you for not realizing she was already aware, no doubt. An explosion tore apart your vault, and when someone like me sees that happen, to a facility legendary for its security, I think to myself, maybe there's an opportunity there. And then, when I arrive and see that the guards have scattered elsewhere, I become certain that there's an opportunity. She gestures at you. You're all they had to send up to me, no doubt, tightening security around the Zealot Prince. How is Grish, by the way? You know each other? We used to. We fought together in the war. I think we took wildly different lessons from our time together. The first sign of weakness, a little sadness, crosses her face. It's gone in an instant, partitioned away under layers of bravado. I'm here because I see an opportunity to take something of my own, while you're busy chasing around that other thief. More work for me. Yes, and I'm happy for you. She leans in conspiratorially. Shall I leave you some interesting clues? Maybe some kind of code for you to unravel. She's working very hard to appear confident. It's almost working. Confident, but out of boasts. Ask your questions, then. Tell me about the war. She looks down. Nothing to tell. A bad time. A time I'd rather forget. I could help with that. She recoils. Keep your hands away from my disk if you want to keep them programmed. Tell me what you're going to steal. Data. There are great secrets being kept in this building. One in particular has infinite value. I need it. She smiles, empowered by even the idea of it. How do you know it's here? Everything is here, query. Ada's garden contains everything our society has ever created, and everything gifted to us by our creator. When Flynn created this grid, he left behind code which would empower a program in ways we cannot imagine. Give them abilities beyond anything any program has ever possessed. I will find that code tonight. It's here, somewhere. Where? I don't know. I will. Are you going to her programs tonight? Only those I need to. Those that get in my way. Matter of fact, to the point. No bravado. They'd be doing their jobs. We all have jobs. I'm occasionally forced to do mine. She holds her eyes. No budge. Let's move on. Good. I think I'm done talking. Her tone has shifted. The bravado of earlier has slipped away. She's finished playing. I'm going to walk past you now. I'm going to walk past you and into the repository. Once there, I will do what I have to do to find what I came for. You need to get out of my way. She reaches to her back, draws her disc. That's a cool shot. It sparks and shivers with energy. You have no doubt she knows how to use it. I'm not your enemy. Good. Don't forget it. A bullying tone. You don't like it. You wonder how she'll use this power she covets. And then it happens. She moves fast, closing the gap between you and holding her disc to your neck. You feel the sizzle of it brush against you. You instinctively draw your own disc, just like you were taught. You hold it millimeters from her neck. A few particles of her hair turn to light and drift off the platform, sliced by your weapon. Your fast program. She jumps back, adopting a throwing stance. You mirror her. Stop, I don't want to fight. I promise you, unless you lower your disc, there will be one. And it will be brief. She stands ready, a stalemate. This moment matters, a choice, either way. The text is slightly different, I noticed. Drop your disc. You open your right hand, dropping the disc to the floor beneath you. It clanks, metal against metal. I'm not your enemy, Proxy. My job is to investigate, not fight you. She smiles, replacing her disc on her back. I'm glad, genuinely. Let's see. She walks over, picks up your disc, and hands it back to you, before brushing past to the elevator. Next time I see you, Corey, I will have the power of Flynn. I'll remember the respect you showed me. The elevator doors close. She is gone. The rain continues to smash the landing pad. You stand alone. You did that which no DOT must ever do. You made a decision. It's becoming a dangerous habit tonight. It's so cold out here. Let's see, can I go here first? I can. The library feels like a mirage, given everything else going on in the rest of the building. It is peaceful, calm. The trees shielded those here from the memory bug. It seems to also... the shields shielded those here from the memory bug. It seems to also shield them from the petty concerns of Proxy and the others. It should be like a colon or something, or a semicolon. As you enter, Ada ushers you over. She seems less comfortable than before. Greetings again, program. She looks around, checking there's nobody with you. Definitely uncomfortable. Has Proxy been here? Ada looks back at Sierra, then to the door. No sign yet, but it is surely a matter of time. Oh. Books. Yay! Discover all Codex hotspots. Given the complex beauty of the trees in the library, these books look charmingly anachronistic. The shelves hold Flynn's Gift, a compendium of all digitized user texts available at the point of the Founder's arrival on the ARC server. Access is strictly limited to core scholars, and even then only to pre-approved books and chapters. As a result, the average program has almost no knowledge of user history, beyond that preached by core, or automata's competing beliefs. It is a humbling and strange experience to be this close to so many answers to the deepest questions in your code. You tell yourself to remain focused on the job at hand. Yeah, I remember saying during my first playthrough how core reminded me an awful lot of the Roman Catholic Church, particularly in the days just before the Reformation started, where they were just controlling the information and like making sure that the Bible was just in Latin, and even with it being in Latin so that the common folk couldn't read the Bible for themselves, even then not all priests or monks could read it. And they chose, to say what it meant and what it said, and, basically, like, the church was the ultimate authority on what the Bible was saying. Yeah, like that especially, that's just what it reminded me of. The parallels are something else, really. You suspect that a proxy thought the information she needed was in the library. She'd already be here. You say as much to Ada. I suppose that makes sense. She must think it's hidden somewhere more private than my garden. Did she say what she was looking for? Some kind of superpowered modification. Ah, the key. I've heard the stories too. Code that grants the powers of a user. Mormonism! Okay. If it exists, I've never seen it, and I've seen most things. Somewhat reassuring. Ada seems reassured. I hope I did not give you the impression earlier that I am naive. I have my dealings with the outside world. I understand the nuance of my code's work. Its ethical complexity. I'm here to solve a crime, not to judge. She nods. Another who understands their purpose. I respect that. I need to confess something to you. I'm listening. I worry that I may have played a role in the theft, and now in Proxy's attempt. You're working with someone on the outside? Yes, but not how you think. She breathes deeply, centering herself. Eyes still closed, she continues. While I believe that information must be controlled and structured, I think that it must then be spread. Our administrator, Prince, has been more cautious with this than I'd like. Take Sierra over there. The automata had to send him here to bargain for access to our records. Why could we not simply share? Data pruning is important. Public access must be shaped and refined. But if the public never has access, then what purpose does that serve beyond a pretty garden inside a box? Another deep breath. A little shudder in this one. I've been releasing small packets of data. Highly curated, of course. But I've been releasing them. It was intended to inspire, but I worry it was too successful. Rumors of secrets still hidden here have been circulating, building interest. You think that's what brought Proxy here? In part. I think the data I shared probably put us on her map. There is nothing more precious, more important than the data we possess. The information in this room, in the repository as a whole, is all we need to guide our culture. I made our work here prominent in a way it had not been before. I opened the door. You let that hang in the air for a moment. This isn't part of my case. She looks off to Sierra. No, I knew you'd feel that way. A gift for prediction. It's a perk of my work. Perk. Rhymes, don't it? She steps out of your way. You should talk to Sierra. He spoke highly of you after your first meeting. Good. That would make this next interrogation easier. You walk out onto the viewing platform. Sierra stands enormous, watching you approach. Query. Read any good trees lately? Too far away. Oh, I already did that one. But I can see some of the tiles from here. Riveting. Sierra smiles warmly. I found our last conversation engaging. Refreshing to experience a little respect. He leans forward. How can I help you with your investigation? I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Stand in front of Sierra. He sits. I am grateful that you came alone. Ask your questions. Tell me about Ada. He looks over at her. Back to her pruning. I gotta turn this down. It's a little too loud. Or rather... Music phone. Looks over at her, back to her pruning. She has been kind to me. Well, at least as kind as the situation allows. We have had a number of conversations about this library. You don't approve? Of the library? No. Data should be free. Keeping it locked away inside, manipulated like this. It's grotesque. The sins of your imagined users repeated. I at least admire her views on making her editorialized data public. Better than nothing. He seems unsure. I have no complaints about my treatment by Ada. What's your opinion of Grish? I don't want to talk about that program. Where were you at the time of the explosion? I was in here, with Ada. That's why my memory was unaffected. I was on a tour. You wonder why this alibi is only coming up now. Why nobody asked. You suspect you know why. So you couldn't have done it. You know, I think you might be right. Sarcasm. Do the automata want anything in particular from Core? To be left alone, mostly. Access to this data would be a beautiful addition, though. This data belongs to all programs, not a select few. A sincere answer. Good. A thought occurs to you. Why didn't Data already tell me that you had an alibi? Why didn't Grish ask you for an alibi? Sierra laughs. After all you've seen, all you've investigated, you still presume that a puppet of Core's would actually go out of their way to be helpful. He laughs again. It doesn't feel good. Maybe I did it remotely. Maybe I'm pulling the strings. Maybe I masterminded that thief's appearance too. He stands up. The laughter stops. I think I'm done with this now program. Ada runs up, hearing Sierra's bellowing laugh at the other end of the library. Is everything alright? Why didn't you tell me Sierra was here during the explosion? She looks at her feet. It was inconclusive data. You pruned. You held back just enough to stay in control. As is your nature. Sierra staring sternly at you. I am done. Me too. He steps forward, brushes a hand against the force field, making it sizzle. I am innocent. Allow me to leave. Ada looks confused. But Grish commanded Sierra points at you. He is the assigned DOT to my case. If he chooses to, he can end my questioning at any time. And if there are no questions, then I will leave. You consider his request. Switch off the force field, Ada. Is that a good... Do it. You helped Sierra escape. She does. Sierra stands, seemingly surprised by your decision. I'm free to go? Yes. I know my way to the sprawl if I have anything else to ask. He nods. That's all the thanks you'll be getting. He do be giant. He steps back. He steps past you and slowly makes his way to the elevator. Was that wise? Truths can't be contained. She looks after Sierra as he gets into the elevator. I suppose not. The force field begins to reactivate. You turn and walk away, past the trees and the waterfalls. It seems more peaceful now, less corrupted. Another decision. Oh, brother! Grishy ain't too happy. The vault is much as you left it. Outside, the falling debris of the explosion have stopped, and the room has begun to cool from the rain and wind outside. Cass stands by the hole in the vault wall. They look more confident than you remember, more ready. Hello, Query. How's the view? They consider the question. It's the best view I can remember. Was that a joke? They're warming to you. They reach out into the void. The rain feels peculiar to me. It shouldn't. It's rain. Most common thing on the grid, right? It comes and goes. So why is it so strange? They withdraw their arm, wipe it dry on their robes. It's cold out there. It is. That's strange to me, too. The sensation. They walk over to you. I apologize. Ignore me. Everything feels strange right now. They are clearly still suffering from the damage they took in the explosion. How goes the investigation? I don't know who I can trust. Neither do I, yet. I hope you can help me with that. A small smile, which swiftly drops from their face. And now new programs are joining us. New faces for me to try and remember. You heard about Proxy? I did, from Prince. He made Grish bring him here to meet me. Apparently, he had to see me for himself. He seemed scared. Prince, I mean. Grish seemed to be quite excited by the idea of a fight. It's endlessly fascinating to you how fast information travels in confined spaces. Ironic to see the same in a place so defined by secrecy. You're safe. She's not interested in you. If you say so. You leave it there. Cass seems frustrated. Whatever I was guarding, it's safe to assume I failed in my task. I can't let that happen again. You don't know anything yet. I know I failed. This is not uncommon among victims of crime, the need to contextualize themselves as active participants by assigning themselves blame, claw back some autonomy. Victims are usually blameless. Sometimes, though, you need to find out what was stolen. Okay. You nod. They remove their disc and hand it to you. Their hands are shaking. We don't have to do this. Yes, I think we probably do. They smile bravely. I want to know the truth of this just as much as you do. More, possibly. The disc holds an answer. That was weird. You hand the disc back, and Cass replaces it on their back. Their eyes flash as they sink. Silence. Everything okay? They look at you. No. They look uncomfortable, frustrated. I don't know what was stolen, or who stole it, or... Nothing at all? It's okay. It's my fault, maybe. It's not. You did your job. I just can't do mine. Tears well in Cass's eyes. I want to be helpful, I really do. I want to be the one who cracks the case and finds out what happened here with you. I know there's nothing... I know there's something in there. I'm missing it. You know they want to help. This is heartbreaking. Cass falls to their knees, shaken. You kneel down to join them. I don't remember anything or anyone. I was alone in the vault. An explosion. Oblivion. Wait. Did they? You were here for the explosion? You knew that already. Yeah! You were in the vault? Yes, of course, that's where you found me. You were alone? Realization dawns on Cass's face. I was alone. New information. Not much, but something to build on. I have to ask, did you set the explosives? Cass searches what memory they have rebuilt. It's possible, but I can't remember seeing an explosive. I feel like I remember placing them, pressing a button or something. You believe them. In their current state, it would be hard to tell a convincing lie. It doesn't add up. Yet. You help Cass back to their feet. I'm proud of you. I'll be proud once I've remembered more. At the moment, not so much. For now, they're right, but you have something to ask the others about at least. Do you have any suspects at all? I had one, but he has an alibi. No need to tell Cass about his question, or the decision you made. Cass nods, and looks back to the window. I think I'd like to be alone for a little while, if that's okay. I have to try and remember something more. Anything, really. You respect the request, and leave as the vault continues to cool. The lobby is as you left it. A lot has shifted since you were here before. You feel almost nostalgic. Across the room stands Grish. I've been looking for you. You found me. A grimace. You've missed it. I've taken a break from babysitting the administrator. I wanted to see if you'd made any progress. I'm not expecting much, but I like to be surprised. But first, I need you to clean my disk again. Still dropping memories. Prince needs me at the top of my game, and I'm far from it. Can't keep doing this for you. You can and you will, program. He's not budging. Chris removes his disc. Rolls it around in his hands, tilting it to catch the reflection of the energy falls. I don't trust you, program. He stares at you. He stares you down. You're weak. You don't know your place. You've been a liability since you walked through that door over there. I'm taking a risk letting you work with this, but it's because of how important tonight is, both finding out what happened to the vault and keeping Prince safe. Don't mistake this for trust. You won't. He hands you the disc. Your hand hovers over the surface, ignites it. Those are, just realized those are hotkeys. Ah, that clears some of the mist. He frowns. I've heard intel that Proxy is moving through the building. My men have been unable to track her exact position, but this isn't good for any of us. There are sensitive things contained here, secrets. The data trees. Yeah, the library is a vital asset. Its access is tightly controlled, though. You can only get in yourself because I allowed it. Ada and Sierra are secure in there. He seems pretty confident about that. Yeah, you don't know. You absolutely do not correct him. You let a criminal past you. Anything that happens tonight, I'm holding you responsible. Grish still doesn't trust you. You'd better hope we catch her. Did she say anything to you about her plans? She wanted to take advantage of the chaos. It's working. Ask her questions, make it quick. Where's Prince? Grish shakes his head no. I wouldn't tell you if you had a disc to my throat. He's safe, is all you need to know. There are parts of this place only I know about. How are your men holding up? Good. They're securing floors throughout the building. I've told them to keep clear of your investigation, for now. My priority is securing the repository. If Proxy came, so will others. Maybe you'll help them too. How are you doing? Exactly as well as I've been doing in your absence all night. I've been better. Castle was alone when the explosion happened. You're sure? They remember nobody in the room with them. Someone outside then? Remote control? Maybe. Sierra has an alibi. He scoffs. And what might that be? He was in the library with Ada. We'll see. When this is over, I'll ask him my own questions and consider his release. You don't tell him the choice you made, for now. No more questions. You nod to get back to Prince. Okay, geez Louise. I must be having some slight technical problem because it's not always telling me, or I'm getting all of those notifications at once. Wigmaster, you're famous! No, you're not. You're not. I'm not even at 500. 500? It must be a peach of a channel. Anyway, you need to get back to Prince. I do. When I see you next, I want better answers to my questions. And I want better answers to mine. Anyway, he gestures towards the elevator. You take the hint and leave. Hopefully he can keep his side of things together. Oh boy. Unknown location. Okay, so this is where we learn about all the little trinkets. You enter Prince's office. He and Grish are long gone. Grish didn't say where. You don't blame him. You look around. This is a good opportunity to explore Prince's collection of user artifacts. Look at the book. Tucked away on the shelf is a thick, heavy book. Its cover shows an abstract landscape, rendered in bright light and polygons, not dissimilar to views you've seen at the outskirts of the grid. In white block capitals, it says ARC X0711 beneath Instruction Manual. You flick through. This is a description of a machine, but specifically a machine for housing programs. You blink. This is a book about the machine in which the grid resides, some kind of guide for users. This is profound. Learn more. You skim back through the book to the introduction and begin to read. Jump aboard the ARC X0711 and be swept away to a future like none you can imagine. See the little pun they throw in there? This is because all the Clue annihilated most of the ISOs, but there are some ISOs that were on this, like, backup drive or whatever. That's called the ARC, and they're safe from Clue. Like none you can imagine. Congratulations on your new purchase. With the unique technology at the heart of Encom computers, you can feel confident that no matter what the task, your hardware will be up to the challenge. Oh yeah, I remember last time I discovered seemingly a curse word. It was like, what the Encom, or what, or something like that. But it was like, what the hell, or something. So funny. Your hardware will be up to the challenge. So sit back, relax, and float above the flood of lesser hardware with the powerhouse you can take with you. Huh. That's trademarked. Keep reading. You keep flicking through sections on specific software, spreadsheets, word processing, games. You remember hearing wise programs speak of other computers, the mini-grid theory, the multiverse theory. This book seems to back that up. It implies that many users have their own computers. The concept is terrifying. Too deep now. Keep reading. Continue reading. You find a section with strange words and symbols. They call it code. instructions, ancient runes with which one can actually build programs. This is Flynn's method. This is how we created this place, how he created us. No, it is said that we manifested later, but Flynn seeded the world with this code. Yeah, I think that confirms kind of a comparison I had made. That, it was sort of like how in Minecraft, when you have enough villagers within a certain area, you create the conditions for cats and, like, iron golems to spawn automatically. But that's already within the code. So similarly, it's like Flynn had created that in the code, like to create like living programs, but he didn't really know. And that seems to be like confirmed by what is written there. This is the recipe for life itself. Put it back. You replace the book on the shelf, a little shaken by how close you just were to truths you cannot fathom. A shiver, and then your focus returns. Look at paper clipping. A slightly crumpled piece of paper is tucked between two other boxes. You pull it out. It's an article of some kind. You read it. Yeah, so unfortunately, this character is kind of retconned now because they couldn't get Cillian Murphy for Tron Ares. So instead, they're going with his brother, Julian. Which, to be fair, the actor they picked for Julian Dillinger does actually kind of look like convincingly like he would be the son of Edward Dillinger in the first Tron, played by David Warner. I do like the actor choice because he does look like, yeah, he is actually related to David Warner or something. A slightly crumpled, let's see, you read it. Renaissance Man by Ethan Romero. The first thing I learned about Edward Dillinger was his taste in helicopters. As I sat waiting for him at the rooftop bar of 1 Moss Street, I was startled to see a jet black helicopter fly past the window, illuminated decadently with red strip lighting. My subject would later explain to me that he found the red glow soothing after a long day staring at computer screens, but to me it was pure showmanship. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Keep reading. You skip forward a few paragraphs. Dillinger laughs, his English lilt giving an impression of a man out of time, a man from a more sophisticated past, perhaps. Of course, this is an illusion. My subject is a man of the future, a great inventor, famous for his pioneering work in artificial intelligence. And plagiarism. But he waves any celebration, away, of course. For him, his proudest work is in the field of arcade video games. He aspires to be an artist in the field, and envisions a day where these electronic fancies are as celebrated as poetry, music, and film. This must have been, before the information was found and such, the credit that Flynn was looking for. I chuckle at this, but he seems ardent. You've never heard of this man. Ain't that interesting? He just faded into the past. Read a little more. You skip a few more paragraphs ahead. Dillinger has recently crafted his most important invention of all, a son. I asked him if Eddie Jr. shares his inventive streak. He assures me that Eddie is already showing an aptitude for mathematics and computing. He's a born leader, too. This is the character I was referring to, Cillian Murphy, in Tron Legacy. But unfortunately, Cillian Murphy's not coming back for Tron Ares. But, whatever. Anyway, he assures me that Eddie is already showing an aptitude, blah, blah, blah. He's a born leader, too, with a ruthless command of the sandbox. He's running rings around his kindergarten teachers. Dillinger tells me the boy doesn't suffer fools gladly, like father, like son. There's only so much sycophancy you can stomach at a time, especially for a user you've never heard of. Tuck it back away. Yeah, he's basically Morgoth Eddie Dillinger, and his son is Sauron. Basically the devil user. Anyway, look at blinking device. The device blinks with red light in the corner. You pick it up. Small buttons cover its surface. The blinking light radiates from a tiny screen. You carefully press one, and a simple image on the screen blinks to the right. Another button, and the image blinks left. Curious. You press another button, and the image blinks up the screen. This is like a Game and Watch thingamabobber, or like a, I forget what those things are called. But yeah, just a little, almost like a digital pet. I forgot what they were called back in the day. Oh, whoops. Dang it, what are they called? I feel like it starts with a T. But anyway, or those games you get from like McDonald's Happy Meal or something, or whatever. It was like, you know, it was like Shadow the Hedgehog basketball of all things, just like shooting hoops, but just a very basic thing. That's just kind of what I'm picturing based on the description. Press another button. The image blinks up the screen. You realize these buttons indicate movement. Could be tanks. That old tank game back in the day as well. Would fit with Tron, you know. You realize these buttons indicate movement. You press another button to the right and a smaller image blinks out of the first. This is some kind of representation, a simulation. Is the first image a program and the other a disc being thrown? Oh wait, is this the I was just looking at this. What was it called? Ultimate Disc Wars or something? It was a video game from 1982. And it was like, you know, it was very basic, but yeah, you did have a character throwing a disc. Maybe that's what this is, actually. Probably, yeah. Why would Prince have such a thing? Why would anyone bother to make it? You return the device to its corner, utterly confused. Look at Jacket. You walk to the shelves on the left. Yeah, this time managed to keep everything in one shelf area at a time. You reach for a jacket hanging in the corner. An odd garment. Gray chest and cuffs, with red sleeves. The collar looks vaguely military, and two large pockets flank the chest, a practical item. I wonder if this... I don't remember if I said this in my first playthrough, but I wonder if this indicates that, like, Kevin Flynn was, like, I don't know, in the Air Force or something. You've never seen anything like it. No light, and the material feels alien, otherworldly. Did this belong to a user? Someone important enough for Prince to have it in his collection? Investigate further. You poke the strange clasps, presumably designed to hold it together. Ever the detective, you reach carefully into a pocket. Your hand brushes over some small cards. You pull them out. Duplicates. Each one printed in bright red. Flynn's Arcade. Huh. Put it back. You replace the jacket carefully. You'd rather nothing was out of place for Prince's return. Look at small statue. Ah, yes. The pièce de résistance. A small statue sits up on the shelf. It is simple, white plastic with printed blue highlights, but you recognize it instantly as Tron himself, and take it from the shelf. You've never seen a statue like this before. Intricate hinges attach his limbs. You can fold and move them in a simulation of movement. Is this a user toy? If so, did the users know the story of Tron 2? Consider the object. You were raised with the stories of Tron, his fight for the users, his eventual disappearance. Yeah, I'm currently playing the DS version of Tron Evolution as well, which deals with the Clue coup, as I call it. But yeah, if I remember correctly. So that should, the disciples of Tron model themselves on his example, seeking truth and justice, standing up to power, new or old. Tron was programmed to fight for the users, but DOT fight only for the truth. You'd like to meet him one day, if he still functions. Put it back. You place the statue, delicately, back where you found it. Leave. You take one last look at the place. Next time you're here, you'll see Prince back at that window. He probably won't let you look at his toys again. You head back out the way you came in. Everything exactly where you found it. Or will I see him out the window? We're about to find out. I hope this doesn't wreck the path I'm trying to create here. But I am still curious how this will end. Or what this will result in. The rain is deafening now, like the users themselves are mocking the hubris this place represents. The landing pad isn't as empty as when you saw it last. You let Proxy in. You see Proxy's glow at the other end of the landing pad immediately, green refracted through raindrops. You are more surprised by the program at her feet. Red light shines from his defeated figure. It's Prince. Hello, Query! She yells to the blast to the rain as you approach. Be a good program, turn around and walk back in. Continue your precious investigation. Prince looks up. He's clearly there against his will. He put up a fight. What do you want with Prince? He knows where the user key is. He's the administrator of all of Core's little secrets. Yeah, last time I noticed, which was Did You Find What You Came For? It wrote it in white, not green, without the name. So it's like, I noticed that little mistake. He knows where the user key is. He's the administrator of all of Core's little secrets. Prince inhales to respond, but she kicks him before he can do so. Grown-ups are talking, Prince. Hey, kiddo, let Mom and Dad talk for a while, will you? Name that movie reference. Prince straightens up and speaks, although it seems to take some effort. I don't know where this user key is. I'm afraid I don't even know what it is. Proxy laughs. You keep saying that. Or that it's a myth. A fairy tale, maybe. But I can tell you're lying. He's not lying. How on earth could you know either way? Earth, you say? You're as much of a pawn of Core as he is, even if you won't admit it. Prince locks eye contact with you, begging for your help. You nod to him. Take me. No offense, but you're useless to me. Proxy smiles. It's simple. This one knows where the user key is, or can lead me to someone who does. I was naive to think it'd be as easy as showing up here and collecting the prize. No, instead I'm going to take him far from this place. Take my time. Introduce him to some of my least savory friends. We'll find out the truth. Prince musters some courage. You'll never make it out of the city. Core will hunt you. They'll find and punish you for what you've done here tonight. He's right. Walk away. Oh, I intend to. But not without Prince. As loud as the rain is, it cannot compete with the crashing noise behind you. You turn and see Grish marching towards you. Step away, pirate! Glad you could join us, Grish. I was just about to make my goodbyes. Grish growls and reaches for his disc. Proxy pulls her down and holds it to Prince's neck. Not another millimeter, guard. Hands by your sides and disc on your back. Grish does as he's told, and Proxy withdraws her disc a little. It stays in her hand, though, ready if needed. Don't test me again, program. Let's all calm down here. Proxy nods. Yes, sound advice. We're all here to do our jobs. Grish steps forward. You're no ally of mine, Query. You helped Sierra escape. Yeah, this is new. This is new. While we were hiding from this thief, you were freeing our only suspect, working with our enemies. Prince winces, breaking eye contact. Sierra was all we had, and you let him walk away. You try to play peacekeeper out here, peacemaker out here, but all you do is let the bad ones go free. I should have seen the signs when you refused my help. I should have been suspicious of you. You forgot who you work for. I work for the truth. Do you? You don't seem to have found much of it. Grish shakes his head. I thought you were a detective, and yet you never questioned your own presumptions. Do we have time for this? Grish growls. Proxy smirks. Prince pointed it out, and I missed it too. We went to visit Cass on our way to hide. Boss wanted to get a sense of him. Well, he did. Prince speaks croakily, barely audible over the rain. New face. Prince is a professional host. He knows everyone who regularly passes through here. He'd never met Cass before. I'm a detective, not a politician. Grish puts his hand up. It doesn't matter. You missed it. Enough! Pettiness like this is why the grid below hates your kind. We struggle and we work, and none of it matters in the face of your mediocrity. Proxy presses something on her back, and light flashes in a starburst behind her. A wing shoot. She's going to jump. Myself and the administrator here are leaving. Let's keep it simple. Don't follow me, don't try and stop me, and everyone lives. Proxy grabs Prince. Grish freezes. Prince looks at you, wide-eyed with fear. Alright, now this is where I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna ruin the end with that I'm trying to get. But, I'm gonna do this. Stop her. You reach for your disc on your back. Draw it. Don't be a fool, program. Throw the disc at her. Oh no! I was afraid that was I was wondering if that would happen. You throw the but it is reaching the goal. It is reaching the goal, I think. You throw the disc. It sizzles through raindrops as it hurtles towards Proxy. She panics, spinning to avoid the disc, pushing Prince into its path. Yikes! Derez Prince. It's fast, at least. The disc slices through Prince and he dissolves almost instantly. Particles fall to the ground as your disc returns to your still outstretched hand. No! You idiot! Proxy glares at you, then runs towards the edge of the landing pad. She leaps into the void, falling out of view. Prince's remains fizzle in the cold rain. Grish is stunned. He walks forward, muttering under his breath, before turning angrily to you. This is your fault. She pushed him in the way of my disc. Grish doesn't turn back from the edge of the landing pad. We're not going to have a conversation. We're not going to figure out the blame or plan a solution. You're my enemy now, Query. I won't stand between you and your investigation. Core wants you here, but we are not allies. I'm going to put things back together inside. I'm going to resume the lockdown. I'm going to try and keep everyone who remains safe. Do what you have to, and then leave. He turns, and without looking at you, marches back into the building. You're alone now. You have no idea what happens next. You have a lead. That's something. Oh. That's all it required, was to kill Prince. I mean, it makes sense. He's the administrator. All the same. Eh. I'll still work on, you know, what I had in mind originally. Oh, okay. You return to the vault, a little shaken by recent events. It's as cold in here as the landing pad, but at least it's drier. Cass is waiting, and walks up to you as you enter. Are you okay, Query? Strange, to be the one in need of comfort, but Cass has obviously noticed something in your demeanor. I'm fine. They smile. I don't believe you, but it's the first lie you've told me tonight, so we're good. You nod. I don't think you're who you say you are. Did I say who I was? I didn't mean to mislead you. I'm truly sorry if I have. I don't know who I am. I'm hoping we can find out together. Cass looks at you quizzically. There's something you're not saying. Do you know something new? I'd like to hear it if you do. Cass has always been direct with you. You owe them the same. I heard you're a new face around here. They ponder it. I thought Prince seemed strange when meeting me. A stranger, I suppose. I don't have a frame of reference, but if you say so, I believe you. They glance down at their uniform, resplendent, then take their identity disc from their back. Want to help me get to the bottom of this? You hesitate. That explosion sure is making my job more difficult. Maybe mine too. If I'm not an honor guard, then who knows? Cass smiles sweetly and hands you the disc. When you take it, they put their hand on your shoulder. Thank you, friend. Maybe this'll be the last time. We'll figure out that I'm a janitor and we can all go home. Cass falls to the ground in front of you. Oh no. Oh no. You kneel down in front of them. It's okay. No, it's not. It's really not. Cass is confused. Their eyes darting around. They stand back up, a little unsteady. Did you see? In the cloud, did you see what I saw? You saw something. It was hazy, uncertain, a silhouette. Was it me? Cass giggles, timidly. No, not you. That'd be an exciting twist, though, wouldn't it? No, that figure. That figure was the guard assigned to my cell. A beat. You're confused. I was a prisoner, Query. Somewhere cold and dark. Not this place. Somewhere else. I was locked in a box. For as long as I've been alive, I've been locked in a box. So how did you get here? I was transported. Dropped off. I've been a prisoner for so long, the guard in my memory, he gave me this uniform, took pity on me. He may have saved your life. They nod. Yes. It is fascinating to me that out of all my memories, the key was a good program who did me a kindness. Well, one kindness among many cruelties. He kept me locked up, probably helped me with my transfer here. Why were you transferred? I think I'm on my way somewhere else. Cor was moving me because of what happened at the prison. A look of terrified realization crosses Cass's face. I'm the explosive. This was me. I was moved here on my way to a more secure location because it's happened before. I'm the danger. Why was Prince not informed? I think I might be a terrible secret. Cass is overwhelmed, scared. It's all flooding back. I need time to process it, but I'm not sure the crime you were brought here to investigate happened. I might be in a lot of trouble. I think I might be in a lot of trouble. They inhale slowly. If you have questions, I can answer them. But then I think I need some space for a couple of millicycles. Oh, wow. Would you look at all those... all of those, things. How long were you locked up? I don't know. The memories overlap, fuse. I don't know their order, their causality. I have no idea how long I was there before I was moved here. What causes the explosion? I don't know. I'm guessing it's involuntary. I have to believe I didn't do this on purpose. They don't seem completely convinced of that, but this wouldn't be the first case you've seen where a program convinced themselves of their own innocence. A defense mechanism, maybe? Tell me about the guard who gave you the clothes. Gave you these clothes. He was called Hori, I think. Kinder than he needed to be. He smuggled me in a uniform, told me it was old, nobody would miss it. It was so cold in that cell. Thank the users for his small kindness. Indeed. I freed Sierra. I can do the same for you. I heard a little of that. It was the right thing for you to do, given what you knew. I'm proud of you. It also tells me that I can trust you. That matters tonight. I think Cora is likely angry with us both. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. At least in my case, I can claim ignorance. What are they going to do? Continue to lock me up? Can't let anyone else get hurt tonight. If it's any consolation, I'm going to do everything in my power to avoid getting hurt myself. You're inclined to believe them. Of course, Prince would have said the same. No more questions. Rest. Yeah. No more questions. Rest. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Query. You let yourself out, as Cass looks across the city through the hole they made. That's not the only gap here. There are more threads that you know you'll need to pull on before the night is over. This doesn't add up. Yet. Vast library of curated data transformed into a temporary present. There's a coldness to the library as you approach. It feels strangely empty without Sierra at its center. Ada stands on the platform he occupied, looking out over her garden. She seems lost in thought as you approach. You've had quite the evening. Maybe I'll get a tree. Maybe so, or at the very least a shrub in the corner. Oh, I did that last time. You both smile, a little exhausted. It's been a long night. How are you? I'm alright. I've been shielded from much of tonight's events. It's been a little lonely since Sierra left, but it was the right decision. Sierra did nothing wrong. You were right to do something. You changed the subject. Cass is also a prisoner. You tell Ada everything you know. Why would Cord do that? Maybe they're dangerous? Well, the explosions. Yes, of course. That might go some way to explaining it, but then why keep them alive? To keep Cass intact and in prison, there must be something else going on. Ada looks around the library. Earlier, I described this place as a garden, a curated space for information. And to an extent, that's true. Core allows me my garden because they know this data has value, more so if they keep it locked away. But that is their motivation, not mine. Their motivation, not mine. Ada looks down at the empty platform left by Sierra. I don't think anything is achieved by locking away things the powerful find intimidating. I think maybe you agree with that sentiment. She locks eyes with you. No, not sentiment. Action. You freed Sierra. You did what needed to be done, regardless of the consequences. You wouldn't be popular with yours. I knew it wouldn't be popular with your bosses. Ada smiles. I suspect that might have been a large part of your reasoning. Either way, you made the right choice. You inspired Ada to help. I want to follow your example. It feels like a knife for making the difficult but right decision. I want to help you with Cass. It feels like you're close to closure. I want to be there for them. My trees will be safe without me. Alright. I'll go up to the vault, check on them. I imagine I'll see you there again soon. Dang it! I didn't say, Prince is dead. I didn't get to say that. You stand alone in the library. Hang on. Is it too late to, Is it too late? It is too late! Stand alone in the library, the entirety of history before you could spend cycles here and barely scratch the surface another time. The vault feels a little warmer. Inspired Ada to help. Cass stands next to Ada by the vault. They are discussing the city below as you approach. Hello, Query. Ah, I see you made it up here, Ada. I did. Cass has been explaining more of their situation to me. It's fascinating. Sorry, that diminishes the challenges you face, child. No, I understand. I think I'd find it fascinating, too, in your position. Cass points to the city below. I want so much to go down there, be among the programs, drink some energy, ride a light cycle, maybe take in the games. I don't think I've ever had that freedom. If I did, it was long ago, before I got locked in a tower. Still no memory of why? Not at all. I'm eager for answers, though. I'll do whatever it takes. Maybe the memory of why you're here, of the cause of the explosion, is still hidden on your disk. Cass takes a deep breath. Could be, for sure, but this seems like a risky stone to turn. It might not be safe. I know the detective wants to help me. But do you want to be here for this, Ada? I don't want you to get hurt. Ada takes Cass's hand. I want to start helping. Okay. Do it, Query. Oh. Didn't read that. It's fine, though. You both stagger a little at what you just saw. Oh no. You give the disc back to Cass. Feel the tension flow through you. Ada is confused. What? What happened? I saw it. I always see it. Oh, users. You know what you both saw. Everything falling apart, the grid itself disintegrating, derezzing into a million fractured pieces, a terrible future. What was that? Cass stumbles back from you. They are holding their head in their hands. Tears in their eyes, their voice quivering. The end of everything. Collapse. It didn't happen. It will. Explosion, a reaction, a realization. The grid is ending. It can't be stopped. Each time I realize that you can't possibly know what's coming. Who told you this? How do you know this is real? I know. They locked me up because I'm the only one who sees it. How? I see the end of things in the data. Complex, cause and effect. Every raindrop. Every blinking light of the city. Truth encoded. The grid is ending. Yes. The end of the world? Cass begins to shake, continuing to hold their head in their hands. The realization is tearing them apart. No time. Ask me your questions. Last chance. How long do we have? I don't know. Maybe 300 cycles? Not enough time to fix it. You can't possibly know that. Cass looks defeated. Why would the grid have a limited duration? Temporary home. Flynn's backup. Ada nods. We were never meant to be here this long. He never came back. Now I know, how am I not exploding? Cass laughs. Ada spots something you don't. Because we're not smart enough. You didn't see for yourself. Second hand. You trust, but you can't see. You think you can save us. Your hope blocks your destruction. We have to tell everyone. Cass smiles through the pain. I'm telling you. That must be managed. This is dangerous information. Cass winces. Everyone has a right to know. I can wipe your memory if you want. A small smile. That's okay. Explosion will do that anyway. There has to be a way for us to help you. There isn't, but thank you. How did it happen so fast this time? More input. You. The city. So much data. Faster realization. I have nothing more to ask. Cass takes a deep breath. There's a flutter to their light. They're destabilizing. They walk out to the edge of the vault. Reset coming. Can't help me figure this out after. Stay back! Ada lunges toward Cass at a sprint. You have to let me help you. I can help you manage this information. Curate! The blast rings through the vault. Hot light knocks you from your feet. Time itself seems to stop for a moment. You taste iron and electricity as your face smashes into the hard floor of the vault. And then silence. You stand up, dust yourself off. The sizzle of broken light echoes through the cavernous vault. You saw Ada cease function. There is no sign of Ada, de-rezzed by the blast. There's nothing you could have done. And there, on the edge of the blasted vault hole, lies the fragile figure of Cass. Cass survived. I wonder if there's a way for Cass to not survive. But then again, it might be one of those things like, Cass was alone in the vault. That's always true. You place a finger on their neck, feel the reassuring pulse of energy flow. They're unconscious, but they function. You are consumed by a need to tell someone what happened, to make it real, to communicate. Grish needs to hear about this. You only hope he'll listen. Grish stands alone in the lobby, his back to you. He's just ushered a program out of the entrance. The last of a full evacuation. Hearing your footsteps, he turns and immediately grimaces. How dare you show your face? I know you're angry. He laughs cruelly. Users outside. What an incredible observation. What fine detective work you've done here tonight. He charges at you, grabbing you by the neck and lifting you off your feet. He barks in your face, his light pulsing as the rage flows through him. You have destroyed this place. You have gotten people hurt. You do not get to tell me how you feel about my mood. I beg your pardon, program. He drops you, sprawling you on the floor. You speak quietly as you hold your throat. I said I am not your enemy. And yet you are the cause of every problem I've encountered since the explosion. The first one. Grish looms over you. You've caused a trail of destruction, wiped out any chance I had of cleaning up the mess your little friend in the vault caused. He sees confusion cross your face. It baffles you that I might know something you haven't told me, doesn't it? I investigated Query, even without you. But you couldn't stop at investigation. Regardless of your kind's rules, you had to intervene. I had no choice tonight. I hope that lie doesn't comfort you. The boss is dead because of you. You chose to let a murderer in, and he suffered the consequences. Prince is gone, and for what? So you could befriend a bomb with a heart of gold? They must be saved. Grish holds up a hand to silence you. You're still acting like you are in charge here, program, which shows you've learned nothing. This is already over. You helped Sierra escape. Yep. I've already seen you free one criminal tonight. I won't watch you do it a second time. Cass isn't a criminal. No, I suppose not. They're a weapon with no safety and no control. A criminal can be imprisoned or rehabilitated. A weapon must be disarmed. I want to say this as clearly as I can. I'm not making threats. I'm telling you what will happen if you try to do something stupid. I made the mistake of allowing you to work unsupervised before. I won't make it again. Grish puts a hand on your shoulder, firm, threatening. I need you to hear this. You're going to leave the way you came in, and you're not coming back. He points his other hand to the door. Now. Cass told me something terrifying. Grish smirks cruelly. I don't care, program. It doesn't matter. I'm going to restore order. The evacuation is complete. I'm going to find Cass, I'm going to lock them in another vault, and I'm going to summon Core to take them away. I will do these things, and then I will begin to rebuild everything you disrupted. But first, you will leave. Grish lifts his hand off of your shoulder. There's no choice this time. But not in the way he means. Don't do it, program. Do it. You turn and run towards the elevator, full tilt. You hear the smash of Grish's boots behind you as he gives chase. You're a fool! Fair. Diving into the elevator, you press a button to close its perspex door. He smashes on it with a fist. I have to help them, Grish. You have lost all grasp of your programming, of your role. An old-fashioned perspective. Lost all grasp. Get out of that elevator, program. He punches the perspex. It cracks under his fist. If you do this, I will be right behind you, and I won't hesitate to finish this. You walk into danger. You don't care what impact you have. The programs your ignorance might interrupt. I should have left you there on the sidewalk. But then I'd never have heard Cass's truth. He punches the door a second time. Nobody cares what that program told you. Nobody will. I don't like the phrasing of that, Cass's truth. I mean, it is technically accurate, but it's just the idea of my truth versus your truth. It's like, no, there is the truth, and then there is your perspective, or, you know, your opinion. You look at the crack in the door. It won't hold up to another swing. You enter a sequence into the elevator's keypad, activating a lock on elevator control, an old DOT trick. What are you doing? If Crash wants to get to where you're heading, he'll need to use the stairs. You enter the code for the landing pad. Goodbye, program. The elevator ascends. Grish is coming for you. Grish locks eyes with you just as he disappears out of view. It's not over. No, it's not. For a moment, the sky is clear above the landing pad. You see Cass sat at its edge, feet hanging over. They turn to you as you approach. Hello. You smile. Hello, Cass. They return your smile. Is that my name? You know confusion cross their face. Do we know each other? You stand next to them. Look out at the city below. It's different than it was earlier. More fragile. My name's Query. We spent a lot of time together tonight. Yes, you're Query, right? You're a detective? You smile and nod. They smile. Are you here to help me? Yes. Cass looks out over the city, determinedly. Good. I want to fix whatever is wrong with my memory. I want to know what life is like below the clouds. It's so beautiful, so intricate. The light of hundreds of thousands of programs mingling, glowing together. I wish I remember what it was like to be there. You realize there's every chance that they've never actually set foot on the ground. I need you to help me remember. You can rebuild identity discs, right? You nod. They take the disc from their back. Please. This will be a little faster now, as you already know who Cass is, and the view seems to be anchoring them. Are you sure you want to know? I am. You take the disc, weigh it in your hands. It'll be faster, he says. It'll be fun, he says. Skip. Cass puts their hand in their head in their hands as memories wash over them. They begin crying. Console them. Put their hand on their shoulder. You look at their disc. You've never worked with one like it. Impossible complexities, unimaginable data density. You just dropped a lot of knowledge on Cass, all at once. You might be out of your depth. You're definitely out of your depth. I'm so sorry. Cass shakes their head. You didn't do anything but try to help me. Cass looks up. I don't think I've ever been outside without rain before. They seem startled by it. Another centicycle is beginning. They look to the horizon. Sunrise? You chuckle. Only the users have sunrises. They wipe their face with a sleeve. Sniff. I'm worried. There aren't many cycles left. There has to be a way to stop it. Cass looks at you with sympathy. I like that that's where your code goes. But no, it is an inevitability of the framework of the grid. Only a user could fix it, and I don't see any. Sierra would agree. We need backups, Query. I need you to copy my observations, my knowledge of what's coming. I'm an unreliable vessel for it. I can keep you safe. Cass looks back over the grid. I'm certain you would try, but no one program can hold back Core for long. Jeez Louise, Wigmaster. Core for long. They gesture to their disc. Still held firmly in your right hand. Copy it. You nod, taking your own disc from your back and placing the two on top of each other. Here goes nothing. This one I'll go ahead and do. So I'll do the first and I'll do the last, you know? Oh my. Curses, foiled again. Let's undo that. What's the difference exactly? Not much, I can tell you that. Excellent. All right. I do like this little mechanic. It's cool. Even fun, one might say. As you hand back Cass's disc to them, your eyes pulse. So much new data. Much of it is indecipherable, but another program will understand it if it comes to that. Cass smiles. How does that feel? Fine. A playful smirk. Liar. That's the second lie tonight. Now it's their turn to reassure. You don't need to read the data. Let it sit with you until someone else needs it. We'll both be there to pass it on. Cass looks down at the grid and says nothing. Oh boy. So that is the one condition for Grish appearing, is letting Proxy in, as I've learned. As I predicted too, honestly. I didn't say it out loud, but it was something I was discussing with a friend. The rain starts up again. At that moment, Grish bursts through the door to the landing pad. He pants, frustrated and exhausted from the climb. Yeah, so Grish being at odds with you is completely dependent on whether or not you let Proxy in. Frustrated and exhausted from the climb. Stop! Hands where I can see them! Cass raises their hands. It's okay. It isn't. Stand down, soldier. Grish draws his disc. I saw what was left of Ada in the vault. It's over. Yeah, there we go. Prince is gone because of you. You think I'll let you risk anyone else for this freak? Cass comes with me. We're going to head back to the vault. You'll be safe. More importantly, the rest of us will be too. I can't let you do that. Grish laughs, enraged. And why is that? You take a deep breath. They've got to get their truth out. Again, not a fan of the phrasing, but it is the truth. Grish scowls. The end of the grid? You believe that? How could they possibly know? It's a lie, to garner sympathy and make you feel like just enough of a hero to help them escape. You're no detective. I'm done talking. Grish readies his disc, aiming at Cass. Not me, aiming at Cass. Come with me, or it ends here. Oh! Oh, how interesting. Stand between Grish and Cass. You block Grish's aim. Get out of my way, program! You feel a brush against your neck. Your disc being removed. Quietly. Grish, he's holding my disc. Grish doesn't see it. Cass swings out from behind you, launching your disc at him. God of the Citadel, indeed. It's an unsteady throw, but it's strong enough. Grish was derezzed. Grish disintegrates into a cloud of energy, blowing like dust across the landing pad. You catch your disc. Cass exhales. Now what? Huh. So I have the choice. I have the choice to put Cass back. Interesting. We have to go. Now. I'm not going to do that this time. Cass nods. Thank you for everything you've done. And everything you're about to do. Don't mention it. Ever. They smile, beaming, and take your hand. Show me the grid, Query. You left with Cass. You walk back to the entrance. So I could actually get the achievement of putting the program back into place if I put him back with those choices, huh? Probably an end, but also a beginning. It's done. You step outside. The city below is exactly how you left it, utterly ignorant of the events that you've witnessed and impacted tonight. But not for long. You stop, standing in place, the enormity of what has happened firing through you. Are you alright, Query? Cass has been through a lot. You don't want to scare them. I need a moment. They nod. It's been a big night for you too. Take your time. I'll wait up ahead. Cass pushes forward. You're grateful for the centicycle they're giving you. You take your disc in your hands, turning it, reviewing it. It certainly needs a defrag, but you've done enough of that already. You activate it, reading your data and thinking about what you saw tonight. The programs you met. Grish. Grish was the first program you met. At least you set the right tone by standing up to that light cycle. You didn't need the distraction of a partner, but he never forgot the slight. And he sure as income, yeah, there it is, and he sure as income hated you after what happened to Prince. Better him than Cass. Prince. The repository is as much a representation of Prince as anything else. His faith and fealty define the possibility space available to you. You feel terrible about what happened. He paid the price for you, he paid the price for the decisions you made here tonight. The ultimate price. Indeed. Cass. Cass began as a mystery, but turned into something greater, something dangerous, to the grid and to those who would control it. Left with Cass. They're waiting for you up ahead. You don't know what your future together holds, but it'll certainly mean more choices. Logs will be written in about Cass. Somewhere, another data tree is sprouting. A comforting thought. Sierra. Whichever way had gone with Sierra, he would have your sympathy. A program trapped in an alien set of constraints and politics. He didn't deserve what happened to him tonight. At least in the end, you could grant him his freedom. Regardless, he will remember what Kor did. He will tell his people, and it will have consequences. Your thoughts on Ada are mixed, and even now you're not sure whose side she was really on. The things you could learn in that library, if ever they let you back in. There's like nobody left in the building. Without Ada, you're unsure what Kor will do to her garden. A new guardian will be necessary. Proxy. Despite what happened, you find it hard to hate Proxy. The pirate was no more self-interested than most of the other programs you met up there. She is dangerous, though, and well-resourced. Her impact could resound further through the grid. You wonder if anyone will ever find the user key she was looking for. You hope not. Think about something else. You keep thinking, the things you learned. You consider what you learned tonight. The grid is ending. Cass saw what they saw, and now you've seen it too. This place, this world is going to stop. Only a few hundred cycles, a couple of users' years, and everything you know will be lost. You entertain the idea that something can be done, but you've seen where good intentions can lead. You will be haunted by this knowledge. Kor are tightening their grip. Kor's enthusiasm for control seems stronger now than ever. You see now that the repository is a prototype for a more regimented grid. It won't happen fast. Feature creep rarely does, but little by little Kor will expand their silent oversight. Cass's data is a direct affront to their dogma, information they will seek to limit too. Automata are connecting. Sierra's presence was an indicator. Automata are no longer keeping to themselves in the sprawl. They're reaching out to the rest of society. Their philosophy and questions will gain volume. There are many who will find that challenging. Outsider programs are becoming more brazen. A criminal landed a recognizer on a Kor stronghold tonight. Proxy would not have come if she were not comfortable, if this place did not feel within her grasp. This may be a natural escalation, a reaction to Kor's confidence. It will have been noticed by others. You consider something else. The choice is yet to come. You ponder your next move. Kor will not be happy with your handling of things. It's likely the DOT will feel similarly. They will they will be even less happy that you stole their asset. Cass won't be safe out there, and now neither will you. Proxy could be helpful. I don't think she's too keen on Prince dying. You didn't end things on the best of terms, but it could certainly have been worse. You don't trust anything about her except her own self-interest. That might have been enough, but you'll likely never find her now. It's going to be hard to find anyone who you can truly trust. But you will. The problems Cass has exposed will not be solved by a single hero. Those days ended with Tron. You will find a community, you just don't know where. You ponder something else. You're ready to leave. You look at your disc. For all the memories of tonight and plans for the future, the thing that matters most is a memory that isn't even yours. Cass's revelation is incendiary, necessary. Only 2 programs possess it, which makes it precarious. Core will de-res you for it if they can. You replace the disc on your back. Head forward. This may be the end of line, but it is not the end of your program, or the grid. Not yet. If you've learned one thing tonight, is that great truths cannot be contained in small boxes. Dependencies and compound errors will always make themselves known. This revelation, this prophecy, won't be contained either. A loop cannot be broken without a change in conditions. You'll find a way. Recompiling. Well, no special ending for oh, right. It's taken by proxy. Kidnapped. Yeah. That you survived. Walked away free. Gained his respect. Yeah. So I already know everything that happens there. Got to know you. Left with you. That's interesting. I can wonder what else goes there. Captured Prince, left alone. Left with Prince, died. So yeah, I know that. I know all of that. Confronted you. Yeah, I'll bet this over here has to do with if Proxy like took him or something, but you also accepted his help or something. Maybe anyway. I already know all of Prince's, all of Sierra's. Yeah, so it's Cass's. Yeah, it's Cass's and yeah, it's Cass's and Grish's. Yeah. All right, the last achievement that I don't have is complete a timed defrag. So we're gonna do this. Oh boy. I get time if I for every one that I do or solve. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh hey, it's Cass's image, I just realized. Oh boy. I messed up. Nah. Oh, and I lose time for every time I undo a move. Oh boy. Well, I can see why this is an achievement. Restart. Alright. Wrong one. Anyway. Well, I didn't think you had it in you. I'm a huckleberry. Anyway, yes! Whew. I think that's all the achievements. I think I think that's all of them. Let me double check. You've earned, yep, 20, or 23 out of 23. Whew. Apparently null ref isn't that uncommon of a an achievement. Well, yeah, I mean, eventually I do want to come back and play this game just to see the different results and such. Like, say I throw the disc instead of Cass grabbing it and throwing it, and then me just putting him back, and that'd be sad. But hey, Is that and yeah, just seeing what would happen. Or I've never had Ada not come with me if she wants to help. I haven't done that before. But yeah, so it'll just be, I think, maybe the most interesting like twists and stuff like we've discovered through this playthrough. And so a fourth playthrough will basically be like just things that I just kind of the nitty gritty stuff that I hadn't done yet. But just it'd be interesting to see a different result. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, and hope to see you next time. Ciao.